Hello everybody, this is another Hot Wheels Collector video. Today we are looking at the 82 Toyota Supra. This is a brand new casting for 2023 and this is a really nice heavily modified one from Hot Wheels. You can see there's quite a few modifications that have been done to this. This car does have quite an interesting story, at least for me trying to find it. I've been trying to find it for months now. And I found literally every other car in the case other than this one, including the Pajero, which I found months upon months ago, but this Supra just kept evading me until today in a Morrison's. Found a completely unopened box. Well, first of all, walked down the aisle, didn't find anything, thought there was nothing. Then I went back to the aisle, just walking past it, and I saw a little box. It was labelled Hot Wheels, 72 pieces, and I went, hang on, I don't know if it was there before. I didn't realise it was there, so I'm guessing maybe not. It was an interesting one. It was on strips, so all the cards were like on strips. It wasn't individual cars per se, and they were all long cards and obviously ready to be hung up. So opened that one up, probably shouldn't have, that's a bit naughty of me, palette rating, but anyways we did, sorry staff. And this was the only car I took. There was a treasure hunt Jeep, which I've already got. Didn't need another one, somebody else can have that. There was another Supra, it was regular though, so somebody else can have that. Regular Glory Chaser, again, somebody else can have that. So there's quite a story behind this one, and I will remember that forever. It was the first ever box I've ever opened, which was fresh. Never opened a box fresh before. I know you guys in America do it all the time, but here in the UK that's quite rare, and they just had it left in the aisle. So lesson learned for the staff at that shop: never leave Hot Wheels unattended in an unopened box, because the next time you come back it'll be opened. Anyways, let me give you some facts about this car. So this car is front engined, rear wheel drive, and obviously is a two-door. When it was new it had a base price of $14,500. This car has a 2.8 litre inline 6, which is capable of producing 145 brake horsepower, although that figure was completely increased in the 1986 model. This is the 1982 one, so that would have been the horsepower figure when this was stock. Obviously this is a modified version, so who knows what the horsepower on this one would be, because obviously this is Hot Wheels' own take on it. This car also had a 0 to 60 in 9.3 seconds. That's pretty, it's kind of average for the age of this car, I suppose. And then we also have a top speed of 131 mile per hour. Again, that's not too bad, and that's not much slower at all than the new Mazda MX-5 Miata, which I've just done a review on. So there you go, that's your fact and a little showcase of this car. Now let's get into the actual review and showcase. Alright, so starting off with the side of the car, first of all I'll zoom on in and we can take a look at the wheel choice. So really nice choice of wheels here. These are the new 2022 Super Advan 3-spoke wheels, obviously brand new for last year. Debuted on the Nissan Maxima Motol car, and I think these might be one of my absolute favourite wheels. They fit on lots of lovely cars, and obviously they are made for like JDM stuff and some other, I think, modified cars for most part. I mean, I don't see this being on many standard looking cars. This car really nicely has got wing mirrors. I love to see it. I don't think there's an excuse for new castings not to have wing mirrors. Obviously the older ones, there's nothing that Hot Wheels can really do about it other than update the casting through a retool, but it's really nice to see that. I'm really happy about that. This car is done in a glossy red. It is not metallic. And let's talk about the tamper work, because there's quite a nice amount actually going on in this car. So first of all, we have that black stripe, which starts at the very rear of the car and it continues to the front fender. We also have the door handle, which has been tampoed in black tampo as well. Really nice. You can also see the fuel filler cap is actually in the metal casting itself. The front windows on this casting are rolled down. Really nice to see that. I think it makes it look a lot more sporty. Speaking of the interior is done in grey plastic. You can also see this car has louvers on not only the rear window but also the side windows, and those are created using the plastic used to create glass, or made to look like glass. Obviously it's not real glass, but it's obviously plastic there instead of it, and it makes those louvers look really realistic, as you can see there. I wasn't too keen on it when it first started, when they started making louvers out of the glass, but honestly I think it looks nice on this one. And sometimes they tint the glass to make it look, plastic. I keep saying glass, it's not glass, it's plastic, but you get what I'm saying. They used to tint it, or sometimes still do, to make it look a little bit more like realistic louvers. But it's a really interesting design, and I think it does fit this car nicely with that modified look. You can also see those wheels. I'm going to mention that they are done in chrome. I think that's pretty nice. It really, really does fit this car a lot. Maybe black wheels would have looked better, but hey, this looks awesome, I think. The final bit of tampo work I'm going to talk about is the side marker or indicator, or maybe it's even a reflector, who knows at this point. It is also done at the front of the front fender. Really nice. Moving on to the front of this car, you can see there is no tampo work, but you can see the front bumper is created using the black base plastic, acts as a very nice colour split. You can also see there are actually some vents in the metal cast itself, just up from that front bumper. And you can also see one of the headlights is actually up, whilst the other is down. That's called the sleepy eye headlights. You can also see we have some vents created using the window plastic. Again, that's an interesting use of that. I don't know why they didn't use the interior plastic for that, but there you go, they have chosen to do that. And honestly, it does look good. It does look good, I'm not going to lie. So yeah, there you go, it works. The front windshield also does have windshield wipers, really, really cool to see. I love to see that, it really does add that extra level of detail to the car. And obviously no tampo work on the hood of this car either. Moving on to this side, is the same as the previous, other than it does not have the fuel filler cap. But you can pause this video and have a look if you're looking for something specific. Alright, looking at the rear of the car, this is where there is a lot of detail and I think it shines. So first of all, we have the trunk release, which is done in silver tampo. We also have pretty much the entire rear of the car done in black tampo. Really nice. You can also see we have the Toyota and the Supra badging there. Really cool. We also have the license plate, which is done in black, and we have the Hot Wheels logo, which is done in gold. Really nice to see that. The Toyota logo and the Supra logo are also done in gold, that same colour. It's almost a yellowy gold. Really interesting. And you can see the rear lights have also been done. So they're done in red. We also have the reverse lights done in white, as well as the indicator lights done in orange. And finally, that rear bumper is done using the black base plastic. This casting actually does have a little ducktail spoiler, as you can see. That adds to that really sporty and almost street racer look. Really nice to see. Finally, looking at the top of the car, there is the top profile. There is no real details on there, but I think it is a really nice car, no matter which angle you look at it from. And if I'm entirely honest, I think this is going to come to premium in the very near future. Why? Because I think this is a really, really high demanded car, as you can see, because obviously they're going off the shelves still, even though this case is getting older now. And there are details that they could add, such as that headlight detailing, the vent detailings. You could add some kind of Advan livery. I think that might be something that they might do, to be honest, because they've just done that on the Toyota AE86, which is in the Boulevard series. So there you go, that's really this car. Now let's get into my review and final thoughts on this one. Alright, so now it is time for my final thoughts and reviews on this car. I think the colour choice is awesome for this debut release. What I also think is awesome is the tampo work, detailing. I think it's great, it's been done really nice. That black side stripe is just so clean looking and it doesn't ruin the design at all of the car. I love to see the rear lights being done and all that detailing, as well as the door handles. That's just a nice little thing to do as well. Obviously the only thing that needs detailing is the headlights, as I've just said, and obviously some vents which they could tampo in. But overall, I think this is a really, really good casting, and I don't think it's overrated one little bit. I think it's a really, really good one, and I highly recommend you pick it up if you see it in any stores. It is difficult to find nowadays, even here in the UK. I don't know what it's like in America, but I know if Hot Wheels are sold in Japan, which I'm pretty sure they are, they will be flying off the pegs, I'm pretty sure, because this is a popular one. People say that the JDM craze is kind of dying off. I refuse to believe that, and apparently the Euro craze has started, but not from what I'm seeing. There's none of these left at all, usually. And in that store now, I'm pretty much guaranteeing both of them will have sold. Yeah, so that's really this car. I really like it, and that leads me to my score out of 10. So out of 10, what am I going to rate this car? I'm going to rate this car a solid. 10 out of 10. I think it's an awesome one. It deserves that rating for sure. And a funny little thing I'm going to kind of end off with is when we were going to pay for the item, I scanned it and it took forever. Well, I say forever. It took like at least 10 seconds to pop up on the self-scan machine. So I thought, uh-oh, maybe like this isn't going to work, and maybe they haven't scanned it so that it would have a price, and I'm not going to be able to get the Supra. But it finally worked, and obviously we paid for it. So there you go. It's got quite a backstory behind it, and I love a little car with a good backstory behind it. It really does mean more to me than any other car that I have in my collection when you've got that real deep backstory, especially when you've been hunting for absolutely months or weeks. It's probably more like weeks, but still, for a long time. And every week that was passing by, it was getting a bit more scary, thinking, oh, am I not going to find this? Because obviously more new cases coming out, and the more new cases that come out, the less of a chance you're going to find this thing. Anyways, that's enough rambling on about my story. If you enjoyed, make sure to like this video. If you're new to the channel, subscribe. Remember, you can also press that notification bell if you want to see all my new uploads and don't want to miss any of them. Remember, you can also share this video with any friends, family, or in any groups who may be interested. But remember, don't feel pressured to if you don't feel like you have anybody who may be interested. You watching this video means so much to me, and I really do thank you for watching all the way to the end. Anyways, that is it for this video. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope to see you guys in the next one. Bye bye everyone.